Number one, there will be ups and downs. Number two, success or failure is up to you. If you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you, not because of your mentors or upline. Number three, the goal is for you to become independent and run your own USANA business. Number four, make your plan on the weekends. Do it, review it, and make adjustments. Number five, it's going to take time. It's going to take a year to become competent. It's going to take 3 years to create a significant part-time income. It's going to take 5 years to become a significant earner, and it's going to take 7 years to become world-class. It's going to take time. Number six, it takes consistent work and hustle. You're not great until you're consistent. Very key. Number seven, you're going to have to grow and get outside of your comfort zone. Number eight, mental toughness is necessary. Number nine, the grass is not greener in other companies. I've seen people leave USANA, never make what they made in their USANA business. And this is a long-term game. USANA is 25 years strong with over $2.5 billion paid to its associates. It's provided thousands and thousands of people with a full-time income, like me and my wife, for, well, over a decade now for me and my wife. But this is a long-term game and a very stable company. We're very blessed. Always remember, amateurs sell products, but professionals sell the vision. Make sure you're inviting your clients to this Facebook Live and also inviting your associates and everybody so they can see not just what the products do, but what the lifestyle of USANA does. And very few have done it as well as Ruby Director Lynette Mast out of Virginia. She's in her 6th year with USANA. What a Ruby Director is somebody who's made over $2,000 a week for 4 weeks in a row. And it's a very solid business. It's a full-time income. Lynette's a mother. She's an awesome person. And Lynette, thank you for spending time with us today out of your busy schedule to share your story. We want to hear everything, what you learned, what your life was like before USANA, what were the challenges that you overcame, and what's your life like today thanks to your USANA business. And so without further ado, I want to bring Lynette Mast onto the webcam. And we're going to share our cameras. Lynette, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jared. It's an honor to be here today with you and your team. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. And well, first of all, I just want to thank you for spending time with us today. You have a very inspiring story. I've been watching you for many years, and you just continue to grow. You continue to inspire. You're so professional. And I don't really know your whole story, so I want to hear it. How did you find USANA? Just whatever you feel like everyone needs to hear. You can share, you can be vulnerable, you can share the good, bad, and the ugly. This is what people want to know, the real stuff. You have about maybe 15 minutes or so, and then we're going to open it up for questions at the end. So Lynette, take it away.
Jared, it's so incredible to be here. I remember at my first convention meeting you in Crystal, and my upline actually introduced me to you guys. So at that time, I was going around asking everyone questions. I have no idea what people thought that first convention, but I was so hungry, I didn't care what people thought at that point. I just had my notepad and I was going around asking everyone questions. And the thing I remember from you is that you said to just never give up. If you keep on and you keep on, you said you will become like these other people you're admiring and looking at. And so I decided early on that no matter what happens, I won't give up, right?
Ooh,
like I'm going to learn the industry. I am going to keep on no matter what happens. And the truth is, like, for everyone, life happens, right? Like challenges come. I just read a quote yesterday and it said, the people that are the most successful in life have not had less challenges than you have. They've probably actually had more. They've just learned how to keep going and growing and pushing through those challenges and growing themselves to go to the next level. So 6.5 years ago, I was in Georgia, in this little farming community in Georgia. We were young married. We had just been married a couple of years. I had a 14-month-old baby, so I was kind of out of the little baby stage, and I was like, you know what? I want to do something on the side to create extra income for our family. We were like all young marrieds are. We had our big dreams. We wanted to be debt-free. We wanted to eventually own our own place, own our own business, even though we didn't know what we wanted. So we literally wrote down every purchase that we bought. If it was $10, if it was $15, we budgeted and tracked everything. And it was fun for a while. But after a while, I said, you know what? I can do something. I can do something better than this. I was a teacher before I got married. I didn't want to go back to teaching. I wanted to be able to do something at home with my baby. I was also at the same time looking for something to improve my health because I was just diagnosed with last stage of celiac disease. And as you know, that's a very serious autoimmune condition. So I was really sick. I didn't have the physical energy and stamina to really go out there and, you know, hustle and bustle and have an 8-to-5 job. So that really wasn't even an option. I started a wedding rental business, and that took off, and it was successful. But about a year into that, I said, you know what, this really isn't what I want to do either long term. I don't see myself growing this and having huge tents and, you know, chair covers. I just don't want to do that long term. So I was looking at all these different options, and then I found USANA through one of my cousins. Actually, I called her about a business idea I had. And I say, hey, how about we partner together and we do like these consignment sales in the fall and the spring, and we'll do like kids clothing and all this different stuff in this area. And she said, well, how about I have another idea for you. Look at what I have before you decide to go that route. So she said, can I come over? And sure enough, she came over that day. She pulled out that Health and Freedom video. She sat down on my kitchen table with me and she showed me that video. And everything within me said yes. From the time I saw Dr. Wentz, the time I saw the comp plan, the time I saw the nutritional supplementations, I said, well, I need those. I need the skincare. I wanted everything. Everything within me said yes. I wanted to sign up right there. But of course I said, I got to talk to my husband tonight just to make sure he's on board. I easily convinced him. He was my first sale. So when people go and they tell me, you know what, my husband or my wife says they don't want it, I'm like, you know what, you need to increase your sales skills, because the first thing you have to do is sell your husband or sell your wife on this business, right? So I sold him and I said, honey, you know what? I'm going to join this business. I'm going to try these products. If they work for me, look at this incredible business opportunity. Just look at what we could do with this. Now, in the back of my mind, I come from a family who has built traditional businesses for decades, okay? So I always thought, my family's perception was that network marketing is for the people who can't quite figure it out in the real world, okay? And that's what I had saw, Jared. I had just saw the people around me in my community and the people I knew that I had saw doing network marketing. They were just doing this little $50, $100, $200, you know, this little piddle hobby kind of thing. And I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to learn to become a professional. I'm not going to harass people. I want to learn the skill of attraction marketing. So that was an intention I had right away. And boy, did I flop this first couple of weeks. I couldn't get anybody to sign up for 3 months. Nobody. 3 months. I went out and talked to people. I could not get one person to sign up. So I just kept on. I kept on. The very first person that I got was actually bipolar. And so I'm pretty sure she was having an off day when I came in with my sales presentation, and I just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. Finally, she said, I'm going to sign up. And when I left, I hollered. I said, you know what? I have a first associate. I couldn't believe it. You know, I finally got somebody to sign up. And after that, I started working on myself. I said, you know what? I need to work on myself first of all, right? If I want to do attraction marketing, I need to work on growing myself to the next level. So I did. I focused for the next 6 months on working on myself. I stopped focusing so much on prospecting and presenting, and I just worked on myself, and people started coming to me for the first time. And my business exploded. I went from builder to goal director in 5 months. So builder is a $200 check to goal director in 5 months, which is $1,000 a week for 4 weeks.
Wow.
We had like this massive explosion. Like we went from nothing, I couldn't do anything, to really growing on myself, focusing on just really my belief system around network marketing. That network marketing is not for the losers. It's for the people who've got it together in this 20th century, right? Like all the smart guys are doing network marketing.
It's for the smartest people.
It's for the smartest people. When I changed that belief in my head, all of a sudden I was presenting to the smart people versus the people who I thought I could maybe, you know, get into doing this, right? Like all of a sudden I went to presenting to a totally different level of people. all of a sudden a different group of people changed. The other thing I worked on changing was the belief about myself. So belief about network marketing. I changed that belief. I changed the belief about myself that I am.
Wait a second. How did you change these beliefs? Because people want to know.
People want to know how I changed the belief. I dug in and I read all the books on network marketing.
So you read books on network marketing. Okay,
I read
what else?
books on network marketing. I went to USANA events.
Events. You went to big events. Okay.
When I went to events and I saw there's doctors, there's lawyers, there's professionals, there's people who already own multiple businesses. There's people with, you know, all kinds of letters behind their last name. They've got years of education and they're choosing network marketing. It changed my perception for me. I said, it's not just the little farmers in my town who can't quite get it together. These are like amazing, high quality people that are choosing to do USANA on the side. And then I literally read every book on network marketing. I mean, I could show you my bookcase here. It's all the books I read on network marketing.
How did you find time to read?
Okay, so
how many kids do you have?
I just had one at the time.
Okay, how many now?
Two.
And how did you find time to read and build your business and take care of your kids?
Well, I think I've always had time to read. I'm a reader, so I've read every day of my life. So I'm going to read something every day anyway, so that wasn't hard for me. But I told my team members, spend at least 30 minutes in reading. If you're a mother, you know, do it on nap time. If you're working 80 hours a week as a professional, play an audio in your car on the way to work.
Oh, audios. Yeah, audios.
That works.
Consistency, right? You did it consistently.
That subconscious mind. I'll tell you another thing I did. I listened to Think and Grow Rich at night with earbuds in my ear.
Audiobook,
Think and Grow Rich. I just put the earbuds in my ear and I fell asleep to Think and Grow Rich for months.
Wow. Okay.
I got to retrain the subconscious mind.
So you were just committed on working on your mind. Audios, webinars, events, just everything you could, everything you could. And that impacted your actual prospecting and the people you
I was to every team call that my upline did for an entire 14 months. I never missed one weekly phone call for 14 months.
Wow.
And then it was just an emergency, and that's the only reason I missed it. I was literally at everything, right? So I worked on changing my mindset on network marketing, changing my mindset on myself, realizing that I am worth it, right? So I started doing affirmations, right? Dream boards. You know, I am a beautiful, powerful, vivacious woman who brings joy, purpose, and fulfillment into the lives of those I meet. That was my affirmation. I didn't feel that.
Love it.
I was sick in bed. I had celiac disease. I had just allowed life to press in on me and to take me down. And I said, you know what? I am worth it. I am worth growing myself. I'm worth having an income. I'm worth, you know, giving my talents out to the world again. And I just stepped up into the greatness that God made me to be. And I just really embraced that. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to do this in a professional way. I'm not going to be a cheesy network marketer. I'm going to learn how the professionals do it. So really, I liked Eric Worre's book. I took a lot of those things. Danny Johnson's books were huge for me at that time. And here's what changed for me. As I did that work, right, initially all the income I made, I invested back either into my own personal growth, into supplements for myself, or into marketing, right? I viewed it as a business. It wasn't a job where I'm getting a paycheck and now I'm going to go blow the paycheck. I took all of that income for that first year and invested in myself, either health or mindset, and then also into marketing, into my business, growing my business.
Very business-minded.
And so you have to be, because it is a business. It's not a hobby. I wanted to generate that six-figure income as soon as I could. And so it's really paid off. You know, now we have team members around. So within, like I said, 5 months, after I went from builder to gold, I went to the very first convention. I remember in July, my husband and I were driving down the road, and at the time, Michelle Merriweather called and she said, would you speak main stage at the last session of convention? And I said, well, I've never been to convention before. I don't know what main stage is. I certainly don't know how to speak. I said, I'll have to think about it. I'll call you back. I have to think about it. So I called my upline and I said, hey, here's what they said. What do they mean? What is main stage at convention? And he said, what did you tell her? You told her you have to think about it? He said, you call her back right now and tell her absolutely yes. And then he said, we'll figure it out. I just
Oh
had
my God, that's so funny.
So we walked stage as gold directors. We had a large team, 22 people there with us, our first convention. It was so fun. That first year is so fun if you put yourself into it. It was so fun. It was a ride.
I love it.
So going from there, I had a baby that was born a couple months later. She had a birth injury. We had a lot of sad things that happened over that time. She was very injured at birth. I was injured. We had to focus really on recovery for about a year after that. So I kind of actually backed off on my business and just focused on being a mom. She was into physical therapy, occupational therapy. We both went to Sonovie for 2 weeks just to recover. Kind of a malpractice kind of thing. So it was really a lot of emotional trauma that happened, right? And it would have been so easy for me. I had this brand new team. Everybody's calling my phone and saying, Lynette, how do I do this? How do I do that? I didn't even know how to do things yet, right? It was less than a year of starting my business. And then I had life happen and I had the business. It would have been so easy to just stop and say, I can't do this. I'm just going to have to give up. But I decided I never would, because we used that income that we had to be able to do alternative therapies with her, like myofascial release and chiropractic. All of that we paid for with the USANA income. And if I wouldn't have had that USANA income, I wouldn't have had the options to give my daughter that I have today. So that was kind of the next year of our lives, and we kind of came over that hump, and we got back into business building mode again and went to Ruby Director. And then we had one of our dreams come true. We had the financial ability to move to Virginia where we wanted to live. We purchased our home. We own 2 acres here. We own a home that's, I don't know, I have to ask Mark, 3,200 square feet home. It's beautiful in Virginia where we want to live with our family. And we did that because of USANA as well. My husband didn't actually have a job for about 18 months. He just was here at home trying to, get into what he wanted to do. And we were able to live on USANA for 18 months and make that move. So to say that USANA has given us options in so many ways, the ability to travel, the ability to really learn to know all these incredible people like you, Jared, it's just broadened our world. And I love it, because I believe anyone can do this, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background. I don't care if you have 2 children or 12 children, or if you're a corporate executive, if you're close to retirement and you're looking and saying, I don't have a nest egg that's big enough to get me through the end of retirement, or if you're a young person who's 18 years old, that's the beauty of USANA. It's an equal opportunity for everybody. And you just have to step out and say, I'm worth it. And you have to believe that network marketing is worth it. It's the best thing today. Add it to the portfolio of things that you're doing. You have to believe you're worth it. And then you have to really believe in Dr. Wentz's vision and just sharing these amazing products with the world. And I truly believe from the bottom of my heart, no matter where you are, what stage of life, you can speed up and you can slow down, but you ever quit.
Man, I love everything you have said. You inspire me so much. I had no idea about when life happened and you were dealing with your pregnancy and your baby and you're recovering. And I just want to thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable and being real, and that was a struggle and a challenge for you.
Very.
It also makes us all realize that when life happens, that you still got to figure out a way to make the calls, share with people, do the things, and it's paid off for you. I mean, look at your beautiful home and your set up there in Virginia. I love your products in the background. That's so neat.
I love it too. I get customers almost every time we have guests at our home. They're like, "Oh, what's this room?" And they want to walk in and look around, and it just gives me a chance to share authentically. So I love it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So, all right. Well, we're going to open it up for questions. We have quite a few people also watching on Facebook Live. So if you're on Facebook Live, go ahead and type in your question on Facebook Live, and we will ask Lynette the questions. We already have a question here from Phyllis Walker in Salt Lake City. She says, how do you give a presentation?
So initially, I gave all of my presentations one-on-one with Health and Freedom newspapers. Today, I like to do group settings. I also do phone calls where we just invite, we'll do like a phone call on Monday night, for instance. We did a phone call on reset. And we just had multiple people sharing about Reset. It was a 20-minute phone call, and we invited guests to the phone call. So back then, I focused on doing the whole USANA presentation. Today, I feel like people want to focus in on just a little bit. They have a little bit of time. So I focus in either on the skincare or the supplements or the business or the weight loss. And I kind of narrow in on that. And then at the end of the presentation, I'll say, just so you know, we also have these other options. And then if they're curious, they can, ask more. But today, I no longer sit down. Most times, I don't sit down and share the entire thing because I feel like people just don't have time for that. And I feel like it's almost too much information.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I hear you 100%. So what you're saying is you talk about the products and the benefits of the products for maybe just a 5 to 10 minute presentation. And then maybe if there's anything else you want to know about the business, I can tell you later type of thing, and just go from there.
Well, sort of. So Monday night, all I did was reset.
Oh, reset only. Okay.
5 people to reset, right?
And is it a Zoom call, like on Zoom or a webinar?
We just did phone call.
Okay. So it's like a conference call.
Mm-hmm. People can call in from wherever they are.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I have a large Amish community that does not have any technology.
Okay.
So that influences how I do business, obviously. So I have a computer, and obviously you figured out how to get me on Zoom today, Jared. So yeah.
No, but that's cool to hear too, that, you don't even necessarily have to have all the technology. I mean, you're using the phone just like they used to.
I feel like today people like technology, but they also really like the convenience of just saying, I'm going down the road, but I'm going to get on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I have to look good to get on a Zoom call. I don't, I can just beep in from wherever I am. I think it's nice to give people options. Yeah.
And what I hear you saying too is that you're consistent. You're always doing some type of conference call or presentation. Is that right?
Yes and no. Like I said, you can slow down your business and you can speed it up. In the last months, I've been really focused on my mom, right? So I've really slowed it down. Hopefully coming into this fall, I'll speed it up. You can always slow down or speed up depending what period of life you're in. You just can never stop. So when I'm in a full on mode, like when I went from builder to gold, I was doing several presentations per week, either one-on-one or, in a small group setting. And ideally, just to stay consistent, it's ideal to do like one a week.
One a week. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. We have a question from Facebook Live. Barb Jones asks, how do you start a conversation when you see a total stranger, which would be like a prospect while you're out and about, like at a grocery store or a restaurant? Do you want to role play? Do you want to pretend that I'm your possible prospect?
Sure.
Imagine okay, let's role play. This is for you, Barb. Let's say that we're where do you go, Lynette?
Anywhere. Where are you, Jared? I'm gonna come find you. Where are
let's
you?
Let's just say that we're at the grocery store, and I'm standing behind you in line.
Okay.
And I have a bunch of stuff in my cart, healthy food.
Okay. Hey, how are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I see that you've got that kombucha in your cart. Do you like the Synergy kombucha?
Actually, I do. I like the one that has the little chia seeds.
Oh my goodness, that's my favorite. My children don't like it, but I do.
I like to chew on them.
Yeah, they're really, really good. It's good in fiber. Are you into health? I see you have a lot of healthy foods.
Yeah. I just like, a healthy lifestyle. I don't work in that though. I work at Best Buy.
Okay. What do you like about Best Buy?
Well, I just like technology. I like being around technology and helping people like get the nice new flat screen TVs or the new MacBook Pro or whatever,
Okay, cool. I am actually, oh, Jared, you're putting me on the spot here in front of everybody and I'm losing my mind. Here's the funny thing. When I'm in the grocery store, when I'm at a restaurant, I'm never looking to sell people on USANA.
Okay.
I honestly am not. I'm just engaging in a conversation, and if the conversation goes there, then I'll talk about USANA.
Okay.
So I don't go out and about and talk to like some people go to the mall and prospect. I don't do that. I did in the beginning to practice. So honestly, I haven't done cold prospecting in a long time. I'm kind of rusty.
This is great though, because this is awesome because now people are saying, okay, here's a Ruby director.
Yeah.
You know, someone who's obviously successful at USANA, and she doesn't get phone numbers from people at the store. So how do you do it? How do you make new contacts?
Well, okay, let me just say this before we go on to that. Okay, so my dad has multiple businesses, right? Like, so I grew up doing his bookwork at a young age, and like our whole family's into business. We don't go to the grocery store and talk to everybody about our business, right?
Okay,
like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't. If we're in a conversation and somebody has a need and we have a solution for that need, then we'll give our card or we'll get their contact information and we provide a solution. So I am a relationship-oriented person. I'm always looking to build relationship. If there's a need, I'll say that. Now, when you said about the health things, I could have prospected you there.
Okay, so let's just because I kind of changed the subject and said I work at Best Buy. So I like the chia seeds. I like to chew on the kombucha.
That is awesome. Do you do protein powders on the side, or do you do nutritional?
Oh, heck yeah. I go to GNC. I have muscle milk and all that stuff.
Oh, really? Really? Well, you know what? I actually represent for a company called USANA Health Sciences. It's a pharmaceutical grade nutritional company. Are you familiar with pharmaceutical grade nutrition? The difference between that and food grade?
No.
No? So are you really happy with what you're using there at GNC? Like, do you love it? See, this is getting cheesy. I just don't do this. I'm so rusty at this. I don't do this. See? I feel cheesy now, you know? What would you do, Jared? What would you say next?
Hold on. Let's not get too far off the beaten path here. So, all right. So you would bring it up, and then you'd kind of see where I go with it. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Great. If it doesn't, I don't push it because I know there's like 100 million people in this world. Now, if I'm on an airplane with somebody and like I sat on an airplane next to a chiropractor, right? We started talking about Sauna Beef. I absolutely got his name, the town that he's from. Sauna Beef is sending him a package. I looked it up on Google to get his number. Like, he's a hot lead. I'm not going to let him go, right? Like, come on. But while I'm sitting there beside him, I'm not acting cheesy or like pushing myself on him. Does that make sense? Like,
so, okay.
Be like professional, like he said, to go pro, right? So I build the relationship. If it goes there, great. If not, I don't. So I guess I do a lot of marketing. Like, a lot of people contact me on social media, honestly. That's where I'm getting like a huge percentage of my new customers is social media.
Social media.
I talk about USANA as I'm out and about. If there's a need, like if you would say like, oh my goodness, yes, I'm looking for a nutritional supplement. I'm not really happy with GNC. And I would say, you know what, we need to meet. You know, how about coffee at such and such a place? Or how about I send you, I would probably get on Facebook right there, add you to it and say, hey, I'm going to send you a link on something and hey, let's connect. Okay. And then you might meet locally at a coffee shop, or I might send you this is USANA video. If you would have said, no, I'm not really happy, or yeah, it's okay. But, you know, but if you're like, oh yeah, GNC is the best. And it's, you know, I'm an ambassador for GNC and you're going to start selling me on GNC. I'm going to just wish you a good day.
Yes. Yes. This is awesome. I mean, it's very real. What you just said was so great about just not taking it so serious. Like, these prospects, they're like a dime a dozen. Yeah. Be real. If the conversation goes there, get the numbers, meet with them, send them stuff. Just be you. Don't try and be weird, some weird USANA person. Just be real. And if it goes there, it goes there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just keep moving on. This is great info. This is what people need to hear. So thank you so much, Lynette. That was like some very good advice. And hey, you know what? Here you are, Ruby director, top earner in the company, and you don't do the grocery store stuff.
I don't have the scripts down.
And you're doing a lot on social media. So guys, send Lynette a friend request on Facebook or Instagram. I just put you on my story on Instagram, Lynette. So you're gonna make a cameo in my day.
Nice. Thank you.
But thank you so much for your time. And last question comes from Patricia Ruiz in San Antonio. She says, what's one book you would recommend to read? The one you mentioned earlier.
What book did I mention?
I think you had mentioned Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich is amazing for changing a mindset.
Give us some of your top books.
Okay, so Think and Grow Rich for mindset is amazing. How to Win Friends and Influence People is incredible. I love Danny Johnson's book. Hang on just a second. Let me get this book here.
Oh, all right. She's going to show us. So while she's getting that book, I just want to remind you all that your paycheck is equal to your personal growth. So if you want your paycheck to go up, make sure you're studying and then taking action on your stuff. There's lots of people who study and then they never take action. So you got to do both. Go ahead.
First Steps to Wealth.
First Steps to Wealth, Danny Johnson.
Danny Johnson's script book. I need to review this, obviously, Jared.
Danny Johnson.
GoPro. I really like
GoPro.
A lot. This was very influential for me 6 years ago. How to Sell Network Marketing Without Fear, Anxiety, or Losing Your Friends, because those are my 3 greatest things.
That was one of my very first books when I started. And that's Michael Oliver, How to Sell Network Marketing Without Fear, Anxiety, or Losing Your Friends. That book also changed my life. That was a big one. That was like my very first month or two in network marketing.
I'm not a diamond director, but here is my claim to fame. I have not lost any friends doing network marketing for 7 years, and I have gained a whole ton of friends. So I always try to keep the person first.
So in other words, network marketing should make you more friends, not make you lose friends.
Absolutely. We need to change our mindset about that. And if we're out losing friends, then we're doing it the wrong, we're not out chasing people. We are attracting people to us. And if you want to become more attractive, just increase who you are, right? Mm-hmm. And I think even when I'm going out to the grocery store, I try to make sure that I look like somebody that people would want to talk to, right? Like somebody that people want to be attracted to, somebody they want to have a conversation with. I just want to take everything to the next level wherever I'm at and create value for people, even if it's not USANA. If there's, a gym I could recommend or a restaurant or whatever it is, I'm just looking for how can I create value for each person I meet. And you know what? As I do that for each person, eventually it comes around that, oh, this person needs USANA. Now I create value in that way. But it's not that that's the only one thing I'm going out to do is just, add USANA, add USANA, add USANA. Not everybody's ready for that. But there's always one thing that I can add value to them, even if it's just adding a bit of joy to their day or adding some humor or just adding, something. I'm always looking for every person I meet, how do I influence and add value?
Ooh, man, so many golden nuggets in this. Lynette, thank you so much for all of your time and all of your feedback and all of your knowledge. This has been an awesome energy call. We have so many people on Facebook Live right now watching it too that love it. Betty asks, what do you do on Facebook? Betty, I want to encourage you to follow Lynette Mast on Instagram, follow Lynette Mast on Facebook, watch what she's doing, study it, because she's obviously doing what works. So thank you, Lynette. And we're going to end the call with everyone unmuting the lines and saying, thank you, Lynette, and have an awesome day.
Thank you, Lynette. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Lynette. Have an awesome day.
Hi, Phyllis. Thank you.
Bye.
Blessings to you,
Lynette. Have an awesome day.
Hi, Jared. Thanks for the privilege.
I'm going to call you. Right now, I'm going to call you.
Okay, see ya.